Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at my Robinhood portfolio and kind of talking about the different decisions I made for this small portfolio and why I invested in the different stocks that I invested in. So without further ado, let's get started. I've invested $1,000 in Robinhood and I just got started on Robinhood somewhere around 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, but I've actually been investing for a little bit longer than that. I've been using Stash. So on Stash, you can invest in fractional shares, which is really awesome because I can invest in stocks like Google or Amazon that I wouldn't really want to pay the full price for one of those stocks because I don't have that kind of money laying around. But I really do love those companies and want to be able to invest in them. And I started using Stash around February of this year, and I do have more in my portfolio on Stash. I kind of wish I had gotten started in Robinhood first and then switched over to Stash. But I'm only around 1% up in my portfolio on Robinhood at this time. As you may know, there was a lot of talk of trade war with China, and the overall market was a little shaken up over the last few weeks, but it's definitely starting to rebound now. The first stock in my portfolio is New Residential Investment, and I have 7 shares at an average cost of $15.47, and this is about 17% of my portfolio. NRZ is only up around 20% in the last 5 years, which is not strong at all, but New Residential Investment is actually not a growth stock. It is a very strong dividend stock. It has a dividend yield of 14.07 and it gives a $2 dividend and it's just a $15 stock, which I think is extremely strong and one of the best dividend stocks out there right now, in my opinion. And it's not like NRZ is an extremely controversial company either. It has pretty low volatility, so you don't have to worry about putting your money in a really strong dividend stock and then watching it waste away as you would with a lot of other dividend stocks that give this kind of yield. MasterCard is currently the biggest investment in my Robinhood account. I have a few bigger investments in Stash, but MasterCard is extremely strong growth stock right now. And as you can see, for the last 5 years of growth, it's up around 260%, and it has very low volatility. It has very strong growth, as you can see, and a very steady incline. I did buy MasterCard at $265, and I'm just about $2 down right now, but that's just kind of the way the market goes. I know that this is going to be an extremely strong growth investment moving forward, and then it consists of about 41% of my portfolio right now. But as I add to this portfolio, that's just going to shrink down because I probably won't be adding too many shares of this in the near future. Next up is Activision Blizzard, which I only have 1 share of, but I think I got it at a very good price, and I follow gaming stocks pretty closely, and they're coming out with a video game this year that I think is going to do extremely well, so I do think their stock price is going to increase dramatically as sales numbers for that video game do start coming out. Next up is NIO. I only bought 4 shares at $260, and this is just 1.5% of my portfolio. And the reason I bought this is because I thought NIO was heavily affected by the negative trade talks with China, so it felt like I was getting it at a really good price. I would definitely be really weary of investing a lot more in NIO just because it is such a speculative stock, but I do think it is at a really good price right now. Next up is one of my favorite stocks, Salesforce. They provide a lot of analytics data for their clients as well as cloud computing solutions, and this is currently dominating the market for what they do in the United States right now. And I think as they start to evolve internationally and get into a lot of international companies, the stock is going to continue to increase rapidly, and it's a very safe stock to buy. Next up is Callaway Golf, and out of all of the stocks I talk about in this video, I'm probably least familiar with this one. I just saw an opportunity when I looked into this stock because I thought I could get it at an extremely good price, and I was pretty right. They're up over 17% from when I bought it at $15 a share. I only bought 3 shares. I wish I had bought a few more. I don't know if this is still an extremely strong investment. I would probably wait for the stock price to fall a bit more before I put any more shares into it, but I'm definitely going to hold on to this one for a while. So that's it for the stocks that I actually have money in, and now next I'm going to get into 4 stocks that I currently have limit prices set for that I definitely want to get invested in. The first one is Alibaba, which can kind of be thought of as an Amazon of Asia. There's a lot more to it actually. They're really into e-commerce, but somewhat similar business model. And about a month ago, they were less than $150 a share, or actually just a couple weeks ago, I think. And I really missed out on the opportunity by just a few days. I wanted to set in a limit price of $154, and now they're up around $170. So it may be a little while before I get my investment in this stock. I think Alibaba is actually really undervalued right now just because it is a Chinese stock, but I think this is an extremely strong growth stock moving forward. Next up is Norwegian. I think they have extremely strong growth potential and they have really good profit margins on a lot of their services. They're at around $50 right now, which is just slightly more than I want to spend. They were at around $55 maybe when I set this limit price. So I'm just waiting for the stock price to drop just a little bit more, and then I'll be really excited about this stock. Next up is Take-Two Interactive, which is a gaming stock that I really want to start investing in. Take-Two Interactive is at 430% stock price growth in the last 5 years, and I think this is one of the strongest gaming stocks out there, if not the strongest, and I've actually done a video on Take-Two Interactive if you want to go check it out. They made games like Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto, which had just incredible sales, and they were amazing games if you're not familiar with them. So really believe in this stock, and I want to start investing in this one moving forward. Next up is Tencent, which is mostly an e-commerce company, but they do a lot more than that, and they have a lot invested in gaming companies. They have a large stake in Ubisoft, which is a private company, as well as Epic Games. They have a 40% stake in Epic Games, I believe, and they have really strong growth in the last 5 years, and they are also the owner of League of Legends. I've done a video on this stock as well if you want to go check it out. I'm definitely excited to get these stocks onto my portfolio, and there's a lot more stocks I want to start adding to my portfolio. I just need to put some more money on Robinhood. I'm just waiting for these stock prices to drop just a little bit. It's always a good idea to set a limit price on the stocks you want to get invested in, just so that you can have the most successful portfolio possible. And here are just a few of these stocks on my watch list that I definitely want to start adding to my portfolio. And Tesla is actually one of my biggest positions on Stash. I will probably be doing a video on my Stash portfolio within the next week or two if you want to stick around for that. And then Ford, I definitely want to start getting into Ford's dividends, but I do want the stock price to drop all the way down to about $8, and I don't know if it's going to go down that low for a little while. I will be doing an updated video on my portfolio probably every couple of months, so be sure to stick around if you'd like to see that. If you have any questions or comments about any of the stocks in this video or any other stocks that you may be interested in investing in, please do let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching.